Hello everyone, welcome to class. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Patricia from Ivy League English, and today I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about what's happening in the United States with coronavirus, what's happening with my family, and what's happening with me. We're also going to focus a little bit more on corrections today. So I hope you guys have some stories, some things that you can tell me, and whatever you guys post in the comments, I'll help you guys out with corrections so you can learn a little bit more from this class. All right? So the first thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is please tell me your name in the comments and tell me what country you're in so that I know who is here. I can already see that somebody is here, so go ahead and tell me your name, tell me what country you're from. Okay? While you guys are doing that, I just want to remind people who watch this video on YouTube, because I do post these videos on YouTube, if you want to leave a comment, all you have to do is take your phone, if you're on a phone, and make sure it's turned like this. If your phone is like this, can't leave a comment. Turn your phone like this, and then you scroll all the way to the bottom, and you can leave a comment on YouTube. All right, so first, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's been happening in the United States, particularly in New York. A lot of you guys know that I live not in New York, but I live very close to New York. I live in a state called Connecticut, and New York is walking distance from my house where I live. So if I leave the house, I can walk for maybe 5 minutes and I'm in New York. That's how close I live to New York. The other thing is I have a lot of friends, I have family that live in New York, and they've been telling me a lot about some of the things that have been happening recently in New York. I know I told you guys that my parents were sick, or I'm pretty sure I told you guys that my parents were sick a couple of weeks ago. And the first thing, hey Ruben, how are you doing? From Nicaragua, nice to see you. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is that my parents are feeling much better. But they were sick, really sick for about 2 weeks, and they decided to get tested to find out if they had coronavirus. So I'll tell you the story about what happened with that. Yes, please, if you enjoyed these English classes, please give this video a thumbs up or a heart or whatever you'd like. But it's really helpful for other English students if you guys give this video some love, some likes, so that other students can find it. All right, who else is here? I see that there are at least 6 people here. You guys have to tell me your names. Remember, tell me your name, tell me what country you're from, and if you want to, tell me a little bit about what's been happening in your country, okay? If you tell me a little bit about what's been happening, I'll help you with some corrections so that you can learn a little bit of grammar or vocabulary from this class, all right? So, Thiago from Brazil, awesome, welcome. I'm not sure if you've been to my classes before. If you haven't, I'm glad to see you here. All right, so I'll tell you guys a little bit about my parents. I'll tell you, hello, Sophia, good to see you. I'll tell you a little bit about what my husband and I have been doing. And if you guys have any questions for me, or like I said, if you have any comments, just go ahead and leave those there, all right? And I see someone else is here. The name looks like it's in maybe Russian or some language that I don't understand. I'm sorry, but if you can tell me what your name is in English, I'd really appreciate it. Adam, how are you doing? Oh, did you miss me, Adam? It's only been 2 weeks from Sudan. Awesome. Welcome, Adam. And Sophia, I see you. Hello. All right, so the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is that in New York, things have definitely changed a little bit. I think a lot of people were expecting that quarantine means you stay at home as much as possible. A lot of people are not going to work, not going to, any of the places that they're used to going to. A lot of people thought that quarantine would be over maybe by, well, some people thought it would be over by now. That's definitely not true. Some people were hoping it would be over at the end of April. It looks like that's not going to happen. I think that quarantine in New York is going to be at least until May 15th. At least. It could be longer than that. We don't know. We'll see. But the other thing that's really interesting about New York right now is, oh, Anita, hello, I see you. And, oh, someone else from Sudan, welcome. And Bakan, I hope I said your name right. Missed you too. It's been 2 weeks. I know that's kind of a long time. And Abu Bakar, welcome. I've seen you before. I know you've been here before. All right, so the newest thing that's happened in New York, and a friend of mine who lives there, she told me this, is that when you leave your house, and you're really not supposed to leave your house unless you absolutely have to. Maybe you have to go to buy food. Okay, that's necessary. Maybe you have a job that's necessary. Maybe you're a police officer, or maybe you work in a grocery store or work in a hospital. There are some people that have to leave their houses. There are some times when you have to, but in New York, it's now a rule that if you leave your house, you have to wear a mask anytime you leave your house. That's a really new thing for people in New York and really in the United States. That's not something that we're used to. But I got a mask, even though I don't live in New York. Like I said, I'm really close to New York. So I'm going to show you guys my mask, okay? This is the mask I got. I got it online from Amazon. And I'll show you what it looks like when I put it on, just for a second. This is my mask. So when we leave the house, this is what we have to wear if we're going anywhere that's public. Okay. Sometimes my husband and I go to go hiking. We go to a big park where there are trails and you can go hiking. If we go someplace like that and we know we're not going to be anywhere near other people, then we usually don't wear masks when we're doing that. But if you need to go to the store or anything where you could be near other people, it's really important now that everyone wear masks when we go outside. So it's a little bit interesting. That's a big change for us, but we're getting used to it. Not everyone likes it, and not everyone is really doing it. I think in New York City, you have to, but in other places, you don't have to, but it's encouraged. But not everybody is doing it. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Let me see who else is here. Manira, hey, good to see you again, Manira. How am I? I'm really good. I am hanging in there. There's an expression for you, hanging in there. Hanging in there, if you don't know that one, means you're doing the best you can, even though you're in a situation that's not that good. Like the situation that I'm in right now in the United States. So Manira, I'm hanging in there. And Manira is from Bangladesh. Let's see. Faris, hello. Good to see you again. I know I've seen that name. Argentina from Central America. Argentina, tell me which country in Central America you're from. Anita, I look great. I look great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I haven't done anything special or fancy today, but thank you. And if you guys are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up or a heart. That's really helpful. Let's see what other comments that we have. That's a good mask. You like it? All right, so Argentina, I'm going to help you with your grammar here, okay? So you typed in, that is a good one mask. Now, that maybe was just a typing mistake, but I just want to make sure you know. In English, what we say is, that is a good one, or that is a good mask. Okay, that's how we'd say that. You don't need to say one mask. You can use the word one to mean mask, or you can just use the word mask. All right, but thanks. I'm glad that you like the mask. All right, and oh, Alexandra. Okay, now I know your name, and you're from the Ukraine. Glad to see you too. Thank you for coming. Michael, is amazing. I thought are you talking about the mask? Maybe you're talking about the mask. I'm glad you like it. Argentina is really important. Wear a mask to protect yourself and another. All right, Argentina, I'm going to help you with that one. It is really important. In English, we usually use a subject before the verb when you're making a sentence. That's not a question. Okay, so this is not a question. It is really important to wear a mask to protect yourself and others. Okay, you can say and others, you can say and other people. Either of those is fine. The reason why you don't want to use another is because another means one other. But we want to protect all the other people, more than one. So others, other people, those are better phrases or words to use. Okay, Argentina, I hope that helps you. Michael, you're from Nicaragua. Okay, awesome. You're not the only one here from Nicaragua. Sophia, what about my place? Do you mean in Connecticut? How are things going in Connecticut? If that's what you're talking about, Sophia, things are not bad in Connecticut. Definitely better than New York. I haven't really heard of a lot of cases or a lot of infections, sick people in Connecticut, although there was a town that's about 20 minutes from me, 20 minutes driving, that had a lot of cases about 3 or 4 weeks ago because somebody decided to have a party and invite 50 people to their house. And I know that sounds like a really bad thing to do, a really bad decision. I think at that time, 3 or 4 weeks ago, not everyone realized how serious this was. Also, there are some people who really just don't care that much. They're a little bit selfish, or they don't believe that the situation is as bad as it is, but the situation really is bad. So in that one town, they did have a lot of cases, but the whole state of Connecticut that I live in has been doing okay. Not that many sick people, which is good. Thank you for asking. Argentina, you're welcome. That's why we're all here, to learn a few things. All right, Faris, my name is Faris, got it. And Alexandra, we also have to wear masks in our country and must stay at home. Awesome, very good. All of that was nicely said, Alexandra. No corrections there. And in Ukraine, I'm glad that they're doing that, because I think that wearing masks will help. You know, I don't know for sure. I can't tell the future, but I really hope that doing that will start to help things get better in the United States. And hopefully in your country, it'll help to keep the situation under control. Keep the situation from getting bad. I hope it hasn't been bad in your country so far, and I hope that people wear masks, because I think it will help. Vipul, hello, welcome to class. Let's see, Michael, yes I am. I wonder what the question was. I can't remember what the question was now, but seems like you're good, Michael. All right, Argentina. Oh, Argentina is talking to Michael, also from Nicaragua. Yeah, you guys can talk about that. That's fine. Sophia, yes, Connecticut is doing okay. And I'm doing fine. My husband and I have been healthy. We haven't had any problems. We're just a little bit tired of being in the house all the time. That's not fun, but I'm not going to complain, because a lot of people have gotten sick. Some people have died, and that's a much worse situation. So I can't complain. I'll tell you guys a little bit about my parents in a couple of minutes, though. Let me just get through some more comments. Oh, Steve, hey, it's good to see you. Yeah, Steve, we don't usually see each other on Friday. Steve and I have classes together. But I hope you had a good week, Steve. Abdel, hello, good to see you. And Abdullahi, how long does isolation last in the United States? Okay, so like I was saying, Abdullahi, in New York, they just extended isolation. I think a lot of people were hoping that it would end at the end of April, at the end of this month. But now I think the new date is May 15th. So I think that in New York, they're going to extend isolation to May 15th. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to definitely end on May 15th. They might extend it again. It depends on the situation. It depends if things get worse and if more people are getting sick, or if things get better and less people are getting sick. Now, other states are in different situations. Okay, the United States has 50 different states, and some states are really not having a lot of problems right now. So their isolation might be a little bit different. Okay, I don't know all of the states and what their rules are or what they're planning to do, but I can tell you about New York and Connecticut. Right now, everyone is still in isolation. I can also tell you that some of the schools in this area, like the New York City schools, Pennsylvania schools, Pennsylvania is another state, and some other schools have already decided there's going to be no more school until September. So all of those students and all of those teachers who thought they might go back to school in May, that's not going to happen. Okay, so I'm really not sure what's going to happen all over the United States. Right now, we just have to wait and hope and see what happens. But good question, Abdullahi. Abdel, yes, I've been gone for a long time. I'm glad that I'm back, though. I missed you guys. Bakan, all right, in Nigeria, let's see what's happening there. In Nigeria, we're all at home. But the government is not helping the situation. Maybe you mean is not helping the situation, like helping the poor to get food, sanitizer, and masks. Yes, okay, I understand how you feel, Bukan. There are actually people in the United States that are having the same problem, because a lot of people, like you said, we have to stay at home. If your job is not super important, then you can't go to work. Now, some people can do their job at home. Like me, obviously, I can do my job at home. My husband can also do his job at home. But there are millions of Americans that cannot do their job from home. If you work in a store that sells clothes, you can't do that from home. If you work in a hotel and you clean rooms, or you work at the front desk, or something like that, you can't do that from home. And people aren't traveling right now anyway, so no one is really staying at hotels because it's not a safe thing to do. So a lot of people, millions of people, have no job and no income right now. So in the United States, they are trying to do some things to help people, but a lot of people feel like it's not enough. A lot of people are really struggling and the government is not doing enough to help. That's some people's opinions. So I understand how you feel, Bakan, and I'm sure in Nigeria there are probably some problems that we don't even have to deal with in the United States, but I hope that things get better. I think the best thing to try to do right now is for people to try to help each other, because sometimes the government is not enough, right? So people just have to be good neighbors and be good citizens and take care of the person that lives next door or across the street. Do what you can to take care of each other and to make this situation a little bit better. All right, I'm going to keep going with the comments, and if you guys are enjoying this class, make sure you give it some thumbs up, okay? Sarwar, hello, I'm doing fine. It's good to see you. Abdel Raham, hello, welcome back. Thank you. I miss teaching these classes, and I appreciate that you missed having these classes. So I'm glad to do these Facebook Live chats every 2 weeks, just so that we can talk a little bit, connect a little bit, and I can help you guys a little bit with your English. All right, German, hello. Oh, from Peru, you're Peruvian, and isolation ends on April 26th. Wow, I hope it really happens, because here where I live, a lot of people thought that isolation was going to end on April 15th. A lot of people were hoping that it would end on April 30th, and now it looks like that's not going to happen. It's going to continue until sometime in May, or maybe even past that. So I hope you guys get out of isolation soon, German. I know it's not fun to stay home all the time, but we'll see. All right, who else? Michael. Will let the humanity wish that this will finishing promptly. Okay, so Michael, I will say this about your sentence. That this will finish promptly. Okay? When you use the verb will is to talk about the future. And whatever verb you use with will, you don't change that verb. You don't put ing at the end of that verb. You don't put ed at the end of that verb. You don't put s at the end of that verb. You don't change that verb. Okay? So, will finish promptly. That's how you want to say that. All right? And yes, we are all hoping that this is over soon, finished soon. That's what we all want. Sophia, by doing your job at home, you mean home office. Yes, I think that's kind of what I mean. I don't have an office, really. I mean, I think some of you guys know that this background I have here is not a real background. It's just a little piece of cloth in front of a closet. This room that I'm in is not a real office. It's an extra bedroom that I have in my house. It's a really small bedroom. So right in front of me, there's a bed. This is not a real office. But a lot of people, if they have a computer and they have internet, then they can do their job from home, because a lot of people, they just use their computer and use their phone to do their job. Okay, so that's what I mean, Sophia. There are a lot of people that do their jobs from home, even if they don't have an actual office. As long as you have the right tools, you can do your job at home. But some jobs, you just can't do that, right? You can't be in a clothes store and sell clothes from home. That's just not how a clothes store works. So those are the people that are really having a tough time right now. All right, yes, I love the hearts and the thumbs up. Thank you guys. All right, Manzoor from Pakistan. Awesome. All right, talking about what's going on there. Casualties, about 145 total. And almost 7,000 are in isolation because they are corona positive. Okay? So that's how we say that. They are corona positive. Another way to say that is they tested positive for coronavirus. Okay? And lockdown throughout the country. Yes, I think a lot of people know what that feels like. All the education institutions are closed. Yeah, absolutely. This is a really tough time for kids and for students. I have a cousin who was a senior in high school. So this is her last year in high school. And for some of you guys, I bet you know how exciting that is to be a senior, to have graduation, to have a prom, and, you know, all of these things that you do at the end of your high school life. And now she's going to miss all of those things. No graduation, no prom, just quarantine, isolation. So yeah, it's a little bit of a sad situation for those people, Menzor. Let's see, Michael, you got it. Okay. And let's see, hello teacher, my name is Same. Same, I remember you from Egypt. How are you? Well, I'm fine, thank you. Sorry for the delay. Oh, that's no problem. And what is the topic of today's episode? Well, I like how you said episode, like this is a TV show. So today, I'll call it a class, but episode is fine too. Today, I'm just telling stories about the United States, about my family, and, you know, what's happening with coronavirus. And I'm helping people with their grammar by correcting some of the comments that they're leaving and some of the questions that they're asking me. All right, so if you guys have any questions or any comments you want to leave, we have 5 more minutes for today, and I'm going to tell you about what happened with my parents, because I told you I would tell you that story today. So my parents, like I said, they had been sick, very sick, for a while. They didn't have any breathing problems, okay? So in the United States, the information that we're getting is that if you're sick, but you can breathe and you're not having any problems with your breathing, then the best thing to do is to stay at home and recover at home, okay? If you have problems breathing, right, that's a serious situation. If you have problems breathing, you need to go to the hospital immediately so that they can help you with your breathing, because obviously if you can't breathe, you're not going to live, right? Everybody needs to breathe in order to live. So my parents didn't have any breathing problems, so they stayed at home. They were sick, pretty sick, for about 2 weeks. Now they're feeling better. They're not 100% yet. They're still, still recovering, but they're mostly better. So I'm very thankful for that. But like I said, my parents wanted to get tested. And this is one of the big problems in the United States. They had to call a few different places to figure out where to get tested. And they had a really hard time finding a place to get tested. They went to one place, and when they got there, all the tests were gone for that day. They went back another time, and there were no more tests. So one of the big problems in the United States is that a lot of people who should be getting tested are not getting tested because there are not enough tests. There are just not enough tests for everyone. That is a huge problem. And finally, after trying several times, my parents and my sister did get tested. They got the test results, and they were officially positive for coronavirus. So they really definitely had coronavirus. And I don't know. I think it's a problem that people can't get tested because I think that we don't really know how many people have really been sick with coronavirus. I think that some people might try to get tested, and they might try once and they try twice, and then they might just give up and not get tested. So I think there are a lot of people who have had it, and they just aren't being counted as a sick person because they never got a test. The other thing that I learned recently, and this is something that I learned because I know a few people who are doctors. Manira, my grandmother is fine. Thank you for asking. I can't believe you remember that. Yes, my grandmother is 107 years old. She lives in Jamaica, and right now she's fine. I mean, she's definitely getting older, so, she's a little bit slower than she used to be, but she's okay. She's not sick. She's doing fine in Jamaica. Lasaro, hello. It's good to see you. Welcome to class. So here's the thing that I learned recently about coronavirus, and I definitely think everybody needs to keep this in mind. A lot of people who get coronavirus, some people get really sick, right? Obviously, like my parents, they got really sick, even though they didn't have to go to the hospital. Some people just get a little bit sick, and it's no big deal. Some of those people, they don't get tested because they don't even think it was coronavirus. They think maybe they just had a cold. And some people get sick and they get no symptoms at all. So that's the thing that is really scary about coronavirus, is that there are people who have it right now and they don't look sick, they don't feel sick, and they could be spreading it to other people because they just don't realize that they actually have coronavirus. So they might be trying to wash their hands and things like that, but they can still accidentally spread it to other people. And the other thing that somebody told me, someone who's a doctor, so I trust what they said, is that after people have coronavirus, okay, their symptoms go away. If they had symptoms, their symptoms go away. Sometimes for 1 week after they're feeling better, maybe 2 weeks after they're feeling better, even 3 weeks after they're feeling better, they can still spread coronavirus to other people. And the other thing that this person reminded me is, before you get sick, before you have symptoms, before you start coughing or, feeling body pains and things like that. You can spread coronavirus. You have it in your body, but you don't know it yet because you haven't had any symptoms, and you can spread it that way too. And I think that's why it's been spreading so much, because it's really easy to spread. Even way after people are feeling better, they could still make other people sick. Or way before they start feeling sick, they can spread it to other people. And I think that's what's really been causing a lot of problems for us. So that's why now everybody is wearing a mask, and everybody's extending the isolation, because it's becoming more serious because of those things. All right, guys, so last minute here, I'm going to check out the comments. If you have anything you want to say before we end class today, now's the time. Put it in the comments. Let's see. Ayasandar, I hope I said that correctly. Welcome to class. It's good to see you. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, guys, so we're going to end class here. And I'm going to ask you guys one more thing. If there is something specific that you would like me to talk about the next time we have a class, go ahead and tell me in the comments, okay? I enjoy telling you guys stories, and I've talked to some students who really enjoy this type of class. Instead of teaching you about grammar or teaching you vocabulary, just talking about everyday things and answering your questions and helping you with your grammar as we have a conversation, I've noticed that a lot of students really enjoy that. So I think we'll try this type of class for a while, see how it goes. Please give this video a thumbs up or a heart. And also, share this video with someone. You can share it in a group, you can share it on your page, send it to a friend. Make sure other English students can see this video so that they can benefit also. And let's see, is there anything else I want to tell you guys before we end class today? I don't think so. I think that's it. I'll try to post another YouTube video, maybe a video that some of you guys haven't seen before because it's an old video, but one of my most popular videos. It's about how to think in English. I know some of you might remember it. Let me know if you remember that video, how to think in English. But if you don't remember that video, I'll post that one today so you guys can check it out. That one is on my YouTube channel. And let's see, last couple comments. Ignatius, hi, from Namibia. Okay, we are in home because lockdown. Okay, so Ignatius, we are at home. We are at home because of lockdown. Here in Namibia, we recorded 16 people and 4 recovered, 0 deaths. Okay, that's really good. You haven't had any deaths yet. I will say this though, with the number 0, we actually use the plural word. We don't use the singular word with the number 0. So if it's the number 1, we say 1 death. If it's the number 0, we say 0 deaths with an S at the end. I know, it's weird. English is strange, but that's how we talk, at least in the United States. So it sounds like Namibia is doing well. I'm glad to hear that. Stay safe and stay at home, okay? Mohammed, I'm doing really well. Thank you. And thank you for coming to class. Michael, you're very welcome. I'll see you guys soon. And let's see. Oh, you enjoyed the class. It was great today. Awesome. I had fun with you guys. Mohammed, I still remember the story of birthday. Of whose birthday? Oh, my grandmother's birthday. I know what you're talking about, Mohammed. Yes, I did talk about my grandmother's birthday. And Argentina, you're very welcome. Thank you guys for coming to class. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.